Good morning, students. Once again, welcome to the online teaching by Mrs. Vishwa H. Desai from St. Xavier's, Surat. Students, we are discussing the Unit 2 of the textbook Flamingo. The chapter of the unit is Lost Spring Stories of Stolen Childhood. The writer is Anish Jung. Students, this is the third video of the unit. So let's revise some points regarding the previous chapter. Students, we have started the first story of the chapter. The title of the first story is Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage. So in the story, we have discussed that who is the main character? The main character is Sahib-e Alam. Who is Sahib-e Alam? Sahib-e Alam is a 10-year boy doing rag picking. In the story, we also discuss the writer's impressions about the life of the poor rag pickers. So students, pay attention to this phrase, the life of the poor rag pickers. We have discussed in the story that Sahib and his family, they have migrated from Dhaka. Their fields and homes had been swept away by storms. They had come to the big city to find a living. We have also discussed the point that every morning Sahib was searching for gold, right? He searches gold in the garbage dumps. Here, so pay attention students here. Here, garbage is a means of survival for the elders and for the children. Why it is a means of survival for the elders and the children? Because every day, children and elders, they are searching something from the garbage dumps. They find something from the garbage dumps, they sell it and they get the rupee, and that's how they survive. So it is something wrapped in wonder. So for the children, garbage is something which is wrapped in the wonder. The children like Sahib, they are deprived of education, happiness, and joy of childhood as they are indulged in child labor due to their poor socio-economic condition. So every day, Sahib and other rag picker boys, what they are doing, they are searching something from the garbage dumps. That's why, right, they are not able to get the education, they are not able to enjoy their childhood because they are supposed to do the child labor due to their poor economic and social condition. We have also discussed the point regarding the writer's encounter with barefooted boys. What that shows the poor condition of rag pickers. That encounter of writer with the barefooted boys shows that they are so poor that they cannot get the pair of shoes, right? We have also discussed the story of a man from Udupi, right? Udupi is a town in Karnataka, right? In this story, the writer talks about a man. That man, when he was a young boy, that man was the son of the temple priest. And what he's doing? He is, as a child, he is praying for getting a pair of shoes. So this is the incident that the writer is discussing with us. That is the story of a man from Udupi when he was a young boy, right? Who he was? He was a son of temple priest. And at that time, he was praying for a pair of shoes. Now, the author, she visited the same town that is the town of Udupi. She visited the same town after 30 years. That shows that the condition of temple priest boy is improved, and now the son of the temple priest got the school bag, school uniform, socks and shoes, right? So this is a bit ironical statement that previously, right, the temple priest boy, right, he was praying for the pair of shoes. After 30 years, when Anish Jung visited the same town, right, at least the temple priest boy was having the school bag, school uniform, socks, and shoes. Right? So clearly we can say that it is ironical that within 30 years, they can only manage to get the pair of shoes. Right? So here we can clearly see that up to this point, right, we have discussed, right, the condition, the poor condition of the boys like Sahib and other barefooted boys who are indulged in the work of rag picking. Right? Now, students, here you can clearly see the three different pictures. Right? In the first picture, you can see the image of a happy boy. Right? So the boys like Sahib and other barefooted boys, right, they deserve to be have a happy childhood. Right? But see in this second image, right, this is the image of a rag picker boy. So Sahib and other barefooted boys, they deserve to be happy. They deserve the all the enjoyment of their childhood, but because of their socio-economic condition, right, they are forced to do the child labor. They are forced to do the work of rag picking. Right? And here we can see that, right, that they are so poor that even they are deprived of a pair of shoes. Right? So basically, right, up to this point we have discussed the condition, the poor condition of the rag pickers. Right? The boys like Sahib, right, they are deprived of education, happiness, and joy of their childhood, and they are forced to do the work of rag picking. Now, here from this point, right, let's discuss the next point in our story. My acquaintance with the barefoot rag pickers leads me to Simapuri. Right? Remember this name, Simapuri, a place on the periphery of Delhi, yet miles away from it metaphorically. Right? So here, what is the meaning of the word acquaintance? The meaning of the word acquaintance is familiarity. Right? And the meaning of the word periphery is the outer area. So here, the writer describes the area where these rag picker boys, right, they live. What is the name of that area? The name of that area is Simapuri. And where it is situated? The Simapuri is situated on the periphery, that is on the outer area, that is on the outskirt of Delhi, yet miles away from it metaphorically. So here it is the Simapuri, which is located on the outskirt of Delhi, was very different from the capital of our country, that is from Delhi. So basically, now a writer is here talking about the place called Simapuri, where all these barefoot rag pickers they live. Those who live here are squatters. What is the meaning of the word squatters? A person who unlawfully occupies an uninhabited building or unused land. Means squatters, they are the people who are living on the land illegally. Those who live here are squatters who came from Bangladesh back in 1971. Right? So remember this year that in 1971, right, it is the year when this rag picker, they had migrated from Bangladesh. Right? So the Sahib and his family and other families of this rag picker boys, they have migrated from Bangladesh and they came to Simapuri in the year 1971. Sahib's family is among them, right? So Sahib's family, they migrated from Bangladesh and they came to Simapuri in the year 1971. Simapuri was then a wilderness. What is the meaning of wilderness? That is desolated place. That is unused place. So Simapuri was then a wilderness it still is, but it is no longer empty. So in the year when they had migrated from Bangladesh and when they came to Simapuri in the year 1971, at that time, Simapuri was a desolated place. But it still is, but it is no longer empty. So Simapuri was still a wasteland, but now it was not empty, right? Why? We will see, right? That uh, it still is, but it is no longer empty. In structures of mud with roofs of tin and tarpaulin. What is the meaning of tarpaulin? That is heavy duty waterproof cloth, devoid of sewage, drainage, or running water, live 1,000 rag pickers, right? So when Sahed's family, when they migrated from Bangladesh and when they came to Simapuri in the year 1971, at that time, right, Simapuri was a desolated place. At the present moment also, Simapuri is a desolated place, right? But it is no longer empty. Why? Because, right, uh, at the present moment, 10,000 rag pickers, right, they lived there in the structures made of mud with the roofs made of tin sheets, right, or the plastic material which is called the tarpaulin. And right, there was no sewage, drainage, or running water facility in Simapuri area. They have lived here for more than 30 years without an identity, without permits, but with ration cards that get their names or voters lists and enable them to buy grain, right? Students, so here we can clearly see that, right, at the present moment, right, 10,000 rag pickers, right, they are living in the Simapuri area, uh, in the structures of mud with roofs of tin and the plastic material which is called the tarpaulin. So, and they are also devoid of the sewage, drainage, and running water facility. So we can say that they lived in unhygienic conditions, right? We can say that it was a piece of wasteland where the garbage of the whole city, right, it was collected, and these people, they had started living on this land of Simapuri illegally. So they have lived here for more than 30 years without an identity, without permits. So means they are living here illegally, but with ration cards. But they are having the ration cards that get their names on voters list and enable them to buy grain, right? So they are living on the land of Simapuri illegally. Only they have the ration cards, right? So that they can have their names on the voters list, right? And they can buy some grain. So the rag pickers, they had been living illegally in the Simapuri area for the last 30 years. They have occupied the area without any government permission or the ownership. We can say that the politicians of the area, they have provided them the voters card and the ration cards, right, so that they can cast their votes in the favor of the politician who had helped them. Here, right, we can see that food is more important for survival than an identity, right? So for them, getting an identity is not more important, but getting food every day is more important for them. If at the end of the day we can feed our families and go to bed without an aching stomach, we would rather live here than in the fields that gave us no grain. Say a group of women in tattered, meaning of the word tattered is torn partly, saris, when I ask them why they left their beautiful land of green fields and rivers. So for them, right, getting an identity is not more important, but getting food every day is more important, right? When the writer asked a group of women who were wearing the torn saris that why did they leave their homes in Dhaka, right? They replied that if they were able to satisfy the hunger of their families and sleep well at night, right, they were happier to live in Simapuri. Then their fields in Dhaka, which were ruined and gave them no food, right? So they are getting their everyday food living at the land of Simapuri, and that's why they are happy, right, living on this land, right? So students, this is the right real picture of the land of Simapuri. You can clearly see that, right, in a complete unhygienic condition, in a complete poor condition, right, they are living. Wherever they find food, they pitch their tents that become transit homes. The meaning of the word transit homes is temporary homes. So these people, they traveled in the search of food, and wherever they found it, they set up their temporary homes and they start living there. Children grow up in them, becoming partners in survival. So children also, they grow up in such kind of transit homes, temporary homes with them, that means with their elders, and children, they are becoming the partners with their elders in survival. And survival in Simapuri means rack picking, right? So means if you want to survive in the Simapuri area, it means you are supposed to do the work of rack picking. Through the years, it has acquired the proportions of a fine art, right? So here it is an ironical statement that they are so much talented in the work of rack picking that it becomes a fine art for them. Means as they had been doing the rack picking for so many years, right? Now they become trained at rack picking and they did it well. Garbage to them is gold. It is their daily bread, a roof over their heads, even if it is a leaking proof. But for a child, it is even more, right? So for the wreck pickers, the garbage was as precious as gold. These families, they searched the garbage dumps and got the things which they sold to fund their food. So every day what they are doing, they are searching the garbage, right? They are getting something from the garbage and they are selling those things, right? And they are getting their daily bread. And in a way, they are getting a roof over their heads, right? But for the children, these garbage dumps, they were more than a means of survival. For them, it's a means of wonderment. I sometimes find a rupee, even a 10 rupee note. Sahib says his eyes lighting up. Lighting up, that means shows joy and happiness, right? So Sahib was very happy to say that sometimes he found a rupee coin or even a 10 rupee note from the garbage dump. When you can find a silver coin in a heap of garbage, you don't stop scrounging, for there is hope of finding more, right? So, as one often finds even a silver coin in the garbage dumps, he kept on searching, hoping to find something more. It seems that for children, garbage has a meaning different from what it means to their parents. For the children, it is wrapped in wonder. For the elders, it is a means of survival. Right, students? So for the children, right, the garbage dump was a means of fulfilling their dreams, although partially, while for their parents, it was a means of aiding survival by providing the basics, that is food, clothing, and shelter. Right. So students, in this video 3, right, we have discussed about the condition of the rack pickers who are living on the land of Simapuri. So students here, right, in both these pictures, right, these are also the real pictures of the Simapuri area, right. In the first picture you can clearly see that the elders, right, they are searching something from the garbage dumps, because for the elders, right, it is the means of survival for the elders, so that they can provide the basic needs to their children. And in this second picture, right, you can see that the children, they are searching something in the garbage dumps, right. But for them, the garbage dumps, right, it is a thing of wonderment. Why? Because as we have already discussed the point that, right, the sahib like boys, right, sometimes they find a 1 rupee coin, and sometimes they find a 10 rupee note from the garbage dumps. And right, if you are lucky, then sometimes one can find a silver coin from this garbage dumps. So students, in the present video we have discussed about the condition of the rag pickers, the poor condition of the rag pickers who are living in the Simapuri area. So later on we will discuss the rest of the story.